Hey, it's Christy and Amanda.
Two girls from Saskatchewan, Canada, living the Reiki life while working the 9-to-5.
Hey, podcast family, welcome back in. This is episode 55, and you are here with Amanda and, of course, Christy. And today we have a really good episode. We're going to talk about crystals and Reiki, because I know a lot of you incorporate them in your Reiki practice, so we can't wait to dive into that. But first, Christy, how's it going? And what's new? What's going on?
Yeah, hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I was thinking about what update to share. And, I had a Reiki session the other day, and it was distance, of course, because that's the only type of Reiki session I offer at this moment is distant. And I just wanted to share something really cool and then see if maybe someone will have a takeaway from it, because I found it really fascinating. So how should I start this? So there's a specific chakra that she wanted to work with. And I was like, and then I kind of got a story of what was going on and everything. So I had a game plan what to do. And when I was over this specific chakra and I was sending Reiki to the chakra, I live in a small town and there's a train that always goes by. So if you're an OG listener, I'm sure you've heard the train in past episodes. I try to mute myself when I hear it coming. But anyways, the horn blew when I was over this chakra, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And it just kind of felt really powerful in that moment. And then when I was explaining the session to her afterwards, because I sent a voice note of everything that happened, when I started talking about that throat chakra, the train came by again at that exact moment. And it was just that validation of the world around you will affect your session if you pay attention to it. And I just wanted to share that because it's like, when you start to notice things around you, like birds chirping, or all of a sudden the clouds part and the sun shining, or just like these little things, even what someone's wearing, what's on their t-shirt that day, the color that they're wearing, the way they're sitting, like it's just being very observant of the physical world can really tie into your session as well. Because I'm also learning this in homeopathy how do I explain it? Something that this person had on their shirt was actually a clue to what was going on, because we dress ourselves. So we're pulling clothes for that day according to our energy is what I feel like. And I remember when I would go see my homeopath in person, like before we did the whole Zoom thing, and I'd be wearing all black and she'd be like, oh, okay. And it was just kind of a clue into what kind of mood I was in. And I just find it so fascinating that, the natural world around us can give us clues. And then I also thought about how when I used to go for acupuncture, she'd be sitting outside waiting for me to come, like when it was summertime, and she'd be looking in the clouds and she'd be getting clues into the clouds to what the session was going to be with me, which was so wild. So, you can lean into what draws you in. I guess like if you're kind of like an earthy person, you can pay attention to the birds and the trees and like that kind of thing. Or if like you're more air, maybe the clouds, or if you like design, like paying attention to what someone's wearing and the colors. I don't know. I just found it just really interesting that I wanted to share that with everyone. But I also wanted to say that, if you're just new to learning Reiki, just put this on the shelf for later. Like because I don't want anyone to get overwhelmed. Okay, I need to pay attention to what the energy feels like. Okay, and then what's going on in the world around me? It's like, shelf it for later. But if you ever feel called to bring in something else to enrich things, I feel like this would be something to dive into.
Very good point, actually, because, they even say when a woman is ovulating, they're more inclined to wear red because it attracts that mate, right?
Interesting.
You're incorporating that energy. Yeah. So it's I always kind of take note of what I'm wearing that day. And then whatever I pick, I kind of like, oh, is this what I'm feeling today? And I kind of correspond it to the chakras. So it's a really good awareness to even look around when you're doing your Reiki session, see what stands out from the client, because they can give you a lot of clues. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah. Just paying attention to the physical world and just like the weird coincidences, like the train going off at the certain points when I mentioned that chakra was just like a big validation from spirit that, hey, we moved some energy there. We got some answers. There was some healing. Like it was really neat. And I have had other instances where weird things have happened. Even like the smoke detector's gone off before and it was something significant and then spirit came by. Yeah, there's always something going on, right?
Actually, I was doing a session and somebody's phone went off, but their text message was like a weird, like, I love you, something
What?
like that, because it was her kid. So that was the text noise. And I was over the heart. I think it was over the heart, clearing something. And then all of a sudden the phone went off and it was like, I love you. And I was
Oh my
like,
God.
oh my God. Yeah, we both laughed after, but we were both pretty like, what the hell is that? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that
funny.
would startle me. Like, what?
Oh, yeah. It's just like that divine timing.
Yeah, totally. Yes. Yeah. It happens all the time, but it's like you have to pay attention to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Enough about me. What's going on?
So a little while ago, I had a Reiki session with my mom. She was over at my house and we were waiting for my car to be done at the dealership. And so I was like, and she was having really bad ear infections. And I was like, well, like, let's go down to my Reiki room and I'll give you a treatment. And I don't really work on my mom energetically a lot. So when she does, like when she is up for it, I'm super excited because I love to help her out. I help my dad out quite a bit because he's super into it. And so anyways, she was down in my room and I have my hands cupped over her ears. And then my hands moved down to her jaw. And I said, Mom, I think this is like related to your jaw. That's like causing the things into your ears. And so whatever, that was kind of like it. I followed out the treatment. And then her ear infection came back. So she went on antibiotics twice, which is super hard on your body, as you know, right? Because it kills all the good bacteria with the infection. And then she was still having ear pain. So finally, she went back to the doctor, and the doctor told her, this is like a 2-month thing at this point. And the doctor finally told her, oh, this is because of your jaw. It's going up and into your ear.
What?
And my mom like stopped and looked at the doctor and she texted me today and was like, you were right. Like just like in an amazement. So it's pretty cool because my mom still calls Reiki. Like so she doesn't really quite get it, but she's super supportive of what I'm doing, obviously. And stuff like this really helps me out. So, if anyone has family that maybe they don't quite understand what you're doing, but they love you anyways, it's just really cool and just give it time. I've been doing this for what? 5 years, like, and my mom, like it's a slow thing, but she definitely respects what I'm doing. So that was really cool today. That's my share.
That's amazing. She's probably like, in that moment when the doctor told her, she was like, oh my God, like, what?
Well, even the fact that she remembered me saying that, because, like, to be honest, I was like, did I say that? And then I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, yeah, I did. Like, because, right, like, I don't hold on to that. I just, it comes in and it goes, right?
Yeah, just deliver the message and off it goes. Oh, that's so neat. I just love that.
Yeah, it was a pretty good story.
So hopefully she'll start feeling better because, yeah, ear infections are not fun.
Well, yes. Now they know, like, what to actually treat, right?
Yeah,
So
instead of just throwing the antibiotic. Yeah. No, that's good. Wow.
Yeah. Should we get into astrology?
Yeah. What's going on with astrology?
Okay, well, we have a lot going on in August. Actually, we're starting with the Lion's Gate on August 8th. So, and you know what? And so we have the Lion's Gate on August 8th, and then we have the full moon on August 9th.
Oh.
So that's a lot of energy back to back. So let's start with the Lion's Gate. So this is a really exciting day. Christy and I really make sure we relish this day. this portal or gateway actually starts to open on July 26th. So by the time you hear this, it's already opening. And it actually goes till August 12th. So reaching its peak on the 8/8, so August 8th. It aligns with the sun in Leo, the earth, Sirius, which is the brightest star in the sky, and Orion's belt. So the Egyptians would worship this spiritual rising sun as it once coincided with the Nile floods. So it represents fertility, rebirth, and cosmic order. And the number 8 is also associated with the infinity symbol, so a balance, abundance, balance, and inner power. And this is a really good time for like activating your third eye, releasing blocks and like intuition. There's a lot of upgrades that usually happen around the Lion's Gate, especially if you're open to that. I highly recommend that you meditate and if possible, like just see what kind of comes through when you're meditating, or get out those tarot cards or oracle cards, whatever your jam is, and kind of see what comes through. Like it's a really special time. I know, Christy, that you usually make sure you celebrate the Lion's Gate.
Yeah, I really love this time of year. And it's so crazy that we're talking about Lionsgate again. Like a whole year has gone by because I know we shared about it on our podcast last year. And yeah, it's at the very least just spend some time outside under the sun. And yeah, and like knowing the history behind it, I feel is very special. And, you know, it's just spending time with that energy and what it feels to you. Maybe you'll feel nothing and maybe you'll feel something amazing, but it's like, why not try it out on that special day? I don't know. It's just something that I really hold close to my heart. And I got my master's on the Lion's Gate a few years ago, and that day was just so magical. And I just always think about that day when Lion Gates come around because it's like an anniversary to that time. And yeah, it's like, of course we can meditate and open our third eye and do all these things any day of the year, but I just feel like it's just extra potent on this day.
Yes, I think so too. So, and I mean, really, like Christy said, you may not feel anything, but like sit with it. Even if you can just spare 5-10 minutes in the morning, especially if you can rise with the sun. They say that's a really big one for Lionsgate too, which, I mean, depending on where you are, that might be pretty darn early, but if not, just, definitely get outside and be under the sun if you can. Okay. And then, so the full moon in Aquarius is August 9th. So it's like Friday, Saturday. It's like boom, boom. So this highlights identity, independence, and community roles. So Aquarius is an air sign, and it is the star card in the tarot deck. So the star is a great card as it gets this like light and hope. So actually, like the star being, you know, like that hope card and like bringing in that light is actually really in tune with that Leo energy. So this could be a really crazy full moon for a lot of people. And so it's really promoting like examination of your unique contributions to humanity. And just really, of course, full moons are all about releasing. So maybe just taking on what doesn't really serve you, what is kind of holding you back from reaching all your goals and that hope. So even if it's like old relationships or old habits that are kind of hindering and kind of not helping you move forward to where you want to go. And then on August 23rd, we have the new moon in Virgo. So Virgo is an earth sign, and it is the hermit in the tarot deck, so which is all about wisdom and inner guidance. This new moon symbolizes clarity. So of course, the hermit is holding out that lantern. Healthy routines, service, and meticulous organization. It marks a fresh lunar cycle aligned with practical results, right? Virgo is definitely very practical.
All right. Yeah, lots to look forward to this month. I love that.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, I'm out of breath. I have a cold, and it feels like I cannot catch my breath. Christy's watching me just suffer over here. Hopefully this doesn't sound too bad.
No, you're good. Just gasping for air.
It's like, holy heck, I can't breathe. But the show must go on. So here we are, doing the thing. You always just do it. And then we have our Reiki circle. August 18th. We're doing it on a Monday night again. We had a great turnout last time. Thank you if you came. And we're going to do it again on Monday, August 18th. We'll do a post, of course, so just watch out for that.
Yeah, yeah, and it was so much fun. Like that, I think that was the most we've had gather together that night, and a really powerful meditation came through before the session about like this golden light, this golden fire, and it was really neat how it led through the whole session. But it's like I wanted to share more, but I almost feel like these circles are like a sacred space. And what happens in that circle in that moment is like meant for the people that are there. Like I'm not saying like you can't sit with us, like that type of energy. I'm just say like, yeah, I didn't want to share too many details about it, but it was just like really magical. And if feel called to like come and hang out with like-minded people and ask some questions, and like when people are like, this is really weird and this happened to me, it's like we love that. Like we will hold the space for you and we'll talk it out and try and figure things out and give you tips, and everyone is just so supportive and it's so much fun. So I'm really looking forward to the next one.
Yeah. And it's really great to hear what the other Reiki practitioners in there think. And even if you don't have your Reiki, you can still come and just check it out and see what it's about. Maybe you've just always been interested, but you haven't taken your level 1 yet. Still come. It's okay.
Yeah.
You can still be a part of the healing and see how it works and just what we do and meet some great people. Yeah, definitely come.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So should we get into today's episode?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Yeah, it was such a fun conversation and I learned so much, and I really love her approach to crystals and how she works with them. It's just like, it's not a rigid black and white. It's like feeling into your own tuition, and just the way she talked about the crystals, and I just loved it. I know you guys are going to enjoy it too.
Yeah, I didn't know I knew enough. I thought about crystals, but I definitely learned a lot. So I really enjoyed even listening to this back when I was editing, and I know you, of course, did too. So, yeah, enjoy.
So we are very excited to share our guest with you, as Amanda and I have been using crystals in our Reiki practices for quite a while. And today we have Megan with us. She's also from Saskatchewan. Her passion for crystals blossomed from a love of all things natural. What began as a simple collection of crystals evolved into energy work, revealing the amazing healing energy they offer. It became an obvious choice to her to introduce a few crystals to benefit her Reiki clients, and from that point, it exploded from there. So Megan is a certified crystal healing specialist and a psychic oracle card reader. She also has a crystal shop here in Saskatchewan where she sources beautiful, affordable, and responsibly sourced crystals. So we can't wait to talk all things crystals today. So welcome, Megan.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for coming.
Welcome in. I know there's so many Reiki practitioners out there that either use crystals or they really want to incorporate them in their practice. So this is really fun today.
Absolutely.
And Megan, why don't we get started by you sharing your Reiki journey, and how did Reiki find you, and what type of Reiki are you trained in?
Sure. So I found Reiki actually about 13-ish years ago. When I was pregnant with my second child. I didn't realize it at the time or what it was, but I was going to a massage therapist because I had really bad sciatic nerve issues. And she's like, well, I just want to try this thing on you. I'm like, all right, I'm open to whatever. And of course, I'm just kind of laying there, and she rubs her hands together and puts it over my face. And it is like super, super hot. Know nothing about what Reiki is, know nothing about the energy side of things. And it just really drew me in. I was like, this is really, really cool. And I always felt amazing after her massages. Kind of left it for a little while because I didn't know what that was. She also played like singing bowls after a session too. But again, I had no idea what that was. I just loved the vibration of it. It felt great. So then fast forward to probably 4+ years ago now, I went for a couple of sessions from a lady near my town, and it was really great. Like, just felt amazing to be able to release this stuff that I had been holding on to for many years And she asked me a couple times if I wanted to take the Reiki courses, and I was like, no, not quite ready. And then finally took the plunge and did it. And I'm so grateful that I did. So that would have been 4 years ago for sure, 2021. So with her, I had taken Usui Holy Fire. And then after I got my Master Reiki at the end of 2021, kind of looked for other things because I knew that there was more that I wanted to do with it than just Reiki. So I ended up finding a Lemurian Atlantean Reiki class just online somewhere. And that was really cool, but I didn't really know what I was getting into at the time because sometimes we just don't know. And now fast forward to 2025 and Lemurians is who I'm working with. So it's been pretty cool to see how it progressed. I left Reiki alone for quite a few years in between there. Well, a couple of years. It just didn't feel right for me. Wasn't quite what I wanted or needed. And then picked it up and it's exploded for me in the last 9 months to a year.
Amazing. What's the differences between the Lemurian and Atlantean Reiki? What are some key components?
It's basically just the symbols that you're using for it. But when I'm doing it, so I actually have almost entirely stopped calling it Reiki now. It's more just energy healing because it doesn't just feel like your standard go through the chakra system. So I call in Lemurian beings to also help heal through me for people.
Wow. That is really neat. And that's cool. Funny. We can relate to that. Like, you learn how to scan the chakras and do like the basics, like you start there, but then where we start and where we are now, sometimes it's just like, it's a little bit of Reiki, but then like a whole lot of other stuff going on.
Yeah. And I've noticed too that it's evolved so much with like adding in tuning forks or drumming. Like I have a drum that I use now for certain sessions. And even that's skyrocketed the things that it'll release in your body. And I know like you guys use different tools as well. And it's not, I'm just going to go for a Reiki session anymore. There's so much more that's included with it.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for a long time, it almost felt almost weird calling when I was doing Reiki because I wasn't even doing any of the typical hand positions at the time. Not till I really started teaching Usui that I really kind of got more into hand positions. But yeah, for a lot of the time I was scanning and then just letting the energy work wherever it had to. Mm-hmm. And now I do a nice combination of both. But yeah.
Yeah. It's so neat to see how it evolves. And even that, like, I don't use the hand symbols, how they're supposed to go or where they're supposed to be. Like you just let it go because the energy is going to go where it needs to.
Yep. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. It's great to learn the basics and then use your own intuitive sense and then go from there. That's where I think you really blossom because you're making it true to who you are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that gives a lot of people permission out there too if they start to kind of navigate in a different path, that's okay. If that's what's calling you and that feels good, that's okay. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Just trust the intuition that comes to you.
That's so true. And that's just the beauty of Reiki. It just opens the doors to so many different things. That's what I just love about it. Because most people do start in that Reiki journey and then go any which direction from there. So yeah, so that brings us to the crystal. So I wanted to ask you, like most people know what crystals are, but I just wanted to hear like your explanation, like your elevator pitch. Like what would you tell someone that crystals are?
So to me, crystals are, yes, beautiful stones that we can get from wherever in the world that they're found. They are not going to be your magic fix that as soon as you get this particular stone, then it's going to cure everything that's wrong with you. That's not how it works. For me, how I explain it to people is that they are there to help you through whatever situation that you're going through, whether it's a block or whether it is something that's really great. It's not just about things that are holding us back. There's different stones can help us through the really good things as well.
Yes.
You know, it's so funny. So when I was like very first on this journey, I went to the store and I bought a big chunk of amethyst. I'm actually holding it here now. And I was like,
Okay.
oh, I can't wait. This is going to blow everything open. And I was sitting with it and like waiting. And it's just, we had been introduced for like 3 seconds. And I'm sitting on my floor in my basement, sweet Christy. And I'm like, here we go. And nothing was really happening. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen. That's so funny you say that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of times too. So think of it like brushing your teeth, right? You don't necessarily notice it. Well, sometimes you do notice the difference right away, but it takes a lot of time to get that habit that's there. And same thing with crystals. Like it takes time for that energy to help move things through your system.
Yep, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And like, does your energy and the crystal kind of have to get used to each other, right?
Kind of. Like, for me, I connect in really quickly. And this is the fun thing, is that there's no right answer to that, because a lot of people will even come over. Like, again, I've got a store, but I also do a lot of trade shows. So people will come to my shows, and some of them right away will go like, oh yeah, that's the one that I need. So some of them do connect right away. But for me, when you're asking about that connection, it's more about when they're actually wanting to work with it. I would say it probably takes a little bit to be able to have that like full trusting connection there.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good to know, especially if you wanted to like work with crystals, especially during your energy sessions. How would you recommend, like, how can crystals help with that, with your practice, pardon me, and like placing them on your clients, or do you place them right on the body around? And if they're your crystals and you're placing them on a client, does that energy still work well? And then maybe even protocol on how we would clear them after?
Mm-hmm. In my practice, I usually have stones underneath the bed. So before the client gets there, I have certain stones that I just use for treatments. So they're left at my store in my treatment room. I don't take them home. They're not my stones. I use them specifically for that. I do cleanse before and after every single session. So for me, I use mostly sage, sound as well, just depending on how my day is going and what I need as well for it. But a lot of time what I'll do is just tap in beforehand of, okay, well, if Amanda's coming to me, what kind of things does she need today? And then I tap in, and I usually will pull 1 or 2 crystals, depending what it is, per chakra. And I will lay them underneath the bed. And then I'll usually do almost like a grid, if you will, under there for them as well. And then during the session, I will have them, I have probably 40-ish different palm stones. So I just lay them on the bed and just allow them to pick whatever one feels good to them. And then I will explain to them what that is and why they've chosen that. And usually what they need is where they're kind of the most stuck in their body at that time. And again, I don't let them just look at it and pick it. It's all energetic. Like, just close your eyes and feel which one feels good. Yeah. So then I'll explain to them what that stone is and why they've chosen it, and go from there.
I love that. Yeah. How cool would that be? I really like that, them picking that stone intuitively. And then it's like kind of like an oracle card in a way, you know, like there's that message in that stone for that person. That's neat.
Don't know if you want me to go into not great detail, but different shapes mean different things. And points and towers do different things versus like, well, a cluster will do. But all those different shapes have different meanings to them as well. So it's not so much even just like the stone that you pick. There's the shape meaning that goes behind with it as well.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, me neither. I thought it was just like what you preferred or what was kind of like neat, you know?
No,
Yes, please
no.
get into that.
Yeah, love to learn.
Okay, so we'll touch on this probably a little bit later as well. I'm sure it all kind of mingles together. So carvings are one thing. We'll talk about that later. Raw stones, I will tell you, is a stronger energy than what a tumbled stone will be. So like this, the one that I've got today is pretty raw. So like it's going to have a little bit stronger energy than like your tumbled stone is going to be, because it's like a tumbled stone is quite a bit smoother, right? So it's just a little bit softer energy for a person, where the raw is going to be a stronger, I'm not going to say more intense energy, but just a stronger energy for someone. So then things like heart shape is going to be a little bit more loving towards it. Clusters are ones like, this isn't a perfect example, but clusters, one that you would have points that kind of shoot all over the place. So that's going to send energy everywhere. And so towers and pyramids are really going to direct or bring in that specific energy. So I do have a lot of towers in my treatment room as well, just to specifically bring that energy to that session.
Oh, that makes sense too, because especially the pyramids, the ones with the top there, that is supposed to be like a beacon sign, especially if you are working with like Lemurians and extraterrestrial things. Like that's a really powerful point. And I actually make this shape a lot, this pyramid or the triangle, when I do my Reiki practice. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. And so cubes are very grounding and stabilizing because of the stability that the four offers. And spheres are very much equal energy that's laid throughout. So I've got a few of those in my room as well. So again, every single shape, yes, it's going to have that stone property, but then there's going to be that added layer of whatever the shape is as well.
Oh, so cool. I just love that. And I've always wanted a pointed, like a tower, and I don't think I own one. But I'm mostly drawn to the raw. I just love the way the raw looks, because it's just like, it looks different every time you look at it. Just so neat.
And it's so unique because every single one, that's a unique piece. No two are going to be exactly the same.
Yeah, that's right. That's so true. Yeah, I'm just looking at my citrine on my shelf over here. It's like my favorite. I just love it.
So funny. And I'm looking at my selenite now too, which is raw, and it's a tower up. So I'm like, oh, it's probably a good one. Especially, I love having selenite in my Reiki rooms. I have a big piece underneath the bed, and then I have a big tower piece now that I am giving more appreciation to, now that I realize its properties of it, to help clear the space. So that's great.
Yeah.
Can you put your crystals on top of the selenite to clear them? I do that.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
okay.
Yeah, I think I do that too. Yeah, somebody told me that, because it was like called a charging plate or something, like a flat selenite piece. And then.
So I will call them charging plates, but they're not charging the stones. They're clearing the stones. So I also need to change just the lingo in how I say that to you. We would call it more like a clearing plate, not necessarily a charging plate.
Clearing. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, clearing. So do you have any or was that everything with the shapes?
Yep, that's okay.
You want to share? Okay, awesome. Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, do you have since we love selenite, that's our, I guess one of my go-tos, putting it under the Reiki bed or at the foot of the bed. I've done that as well. That's kind of like my OG, my go-to. Do you have a go-to for your sessions?
Not necessarily my sessions. So when I do my sessions, I actually started wearing a lot more crystal jewelry, because again, we're using our hands so much more. So my personal favorite stone is rainbow moonstone, partly because it's just so beautiful. So it's very usually very white. It's got a little bit of black tourmaline in it. I have one here, me too. And it flashes like a gorgeous blue color. You might be able to see it.
Oh, I've seen those ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are like my ultimate, like I love rainbow moonstone. You will often see me with earrings, necklaces, probably a couple, 2 or 3 rings on. Love it. Love, love, love this stone. So this is very much about like, to me, it's very much feminine energy, but also very balancing because it's the black and the white, yin and yang. Also, for me, helps with intuition.
Okay.
So that's why I like to use this one. So I wear that a lot. And then I also got this amazing, pretty big sized, I'm not wearing it today, but pretty big sized Lemurian quartz ring as well. And again, just the Lemurian piece for me to call those beings in. And Lemurian quartz is, well, any kind of clear quartz is very good as like a master healer. So again, really bring in and amp up the healing energy to it. So love using that.
Right on.
That's really good. Christy, do you remember those big, I think they were like a clear quartz that I gave you? Remember our friend, Todd's friend found them out, I think in BC.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I have a huge piece of this like clear quartz, I think. Hey, is that what you would guess it is? I should show you it
I
after.
think so.
I have it by my window because the head faces the window. And then sometimes during my sessions, I grab that huge hunk. Like it's a good slab. And I'm like, it almost feels like I'm collecting and like wanding their crown. And sometimes, especially when it's heavy releasing, to like collect and then I put it back up. But it feels like it's self-cleansing, that thing. I wonder if it's almost like a selenite.
Potentially could, yeah. But if you've got your selenite in your room, that'll help clear that energy that it's picked up as well. And with the sun too, like the sun will help charge your stones a little bit as well. Okay, so charging can happen in the moon or the sun. It depends which type of stone that it is. So I'm going to use a very simple example because it's super easy. Moonstone, you're going to want to charge in the moon. Sunstone, you're going to want to charge in the sun.
Makes sense.
Quite literal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's no wrong answer to it. I'm maybe not the best person to ask about that because for me, I'm like, there are no rules. Whatever feels good to you is what that stone needs. So if the stone's like, yeah, I want to be put out in the sun or I want to be put out at dusk or dawn, just do that. Just listen to what it says to you. I personally have stopped putting stuff outside during full moons because I just have so much, even in my own personal collection and at the store. I just can't. It would take me forever.
Oh my gosh. No kidding.
Do that much anymore, but I do ask that when there is that full moon to please come and charge my stones the best that you can.
Yeah. I really love that. Somebody else told me that too, like, because I remember when I first started, I'd grab all my crystals and like put them in the window ledge, and it was like a lot of work where I got to the point where I was like, I'm not doing this. But somebody told me, like, when the sun shines in your room, it goes everywhere. So she's like, why wouldn't the moonlight be any different? And I was like, well, yeah, that's totally right. What?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm the same way. It just takes too long.
Yeah, it does.
I got too much to do.
I just realized. Yeah. Okay, so I bought trays and trays of crystals because a lady was going out of business. She was selling all of her stuff in town, and I realized I keep these all in my closet with the door closed. But like the closet door is open quite a bit. But I just realized like the energy in here, and there's all different kinds. I have lots of different kinds. So I'm like, the energy feels really good in my room. Christy can attest. She was here yesterday. But is that weird to have all those different, or I guess that's kind of like your store, but they're all very grouped in. Like, what do you think?
I'm not the best person to ask. So, for example, this little baggie of stones that I carry, I have 9 different stones in there. And that's just one of the little bags I carry. Like, I probably have a solid 20 on me at any given time. Is that good? I don't know. Is it hurting me? I mean, I vibe pretty high, so I'm going to say it's probably not hurting me.
Do you keep crystals? Do you keep crystals in your bra? I heard that's a thing.
I used to. So I actually like these ones that I just got. I'll just pull this one back up. So these ones that I just got are actually like super skinny. So these ones, yeah, you very well could. I don't, just because I've got them, like I wear a lot of them now. Like a lot of my stuff is in rings or earrings and that now, necklaces and stuff. Yeah. Okay. So lots of different energy. Again, there's no wrong answer. There's nothing wrong with that all sitting in your closet. Sometimes what happens, what I notice is that people need to be like acclimated to it, I think is the right word. So you just have to get used to it. So for some people, going into a room like that is super overwhelming. Like I even have people come to the store and they're like, holy man, this is a lot. And I'm like, that's not even all of it. You should go to the back. There is a lot more back there. And that is like, when I first took on this much stock, when I was unpacking everything, it actually gave me a tummy ache. I had to leave. Like I could only do so much for the first little bit. Again, just because it's so much energy. But as I've been working with it a lot more for a lot longer, I'm getting better and it doesn't bother me anymore.
That makes sense. It's just like, somebody working in a flower shop, just all that floral scent is like, oh, this is intense. And then as time goes on, you don't even notice that floral smell. It's just like you become one almost.
Yep. Yeah, it's not quite as bad.
It's like working the energetic muscle. Me and Christy actually were just talking about this and building up that tolerance and stuff. That's really good.
Yeah.
Mm. And now, so we kind of talked about like charging crystals. How about activating them? I heard that we need to activate our crystals, or else people are walking around with quote unquote dead crystals. Like you need to like charge them or activate them in your hand to your energies. What do you think about that?
So for me, I'm like, just do whatever feels good. Like if it feels good to you to activate it and put that serious intention of what you want out of that stone, do that. Does it have to be like a crazy ritual where you lay everything out and there's a specific order of how you want things done? It doesn't have to be like that. It can literally just be, so this particular stone I have is called a prophecy stone. They're super high vibe and they're really good for like meditation and bringing prophecy to you. So when I want to work with this one, I'm just a matter of, okay, stone, I want you to help me access what I'm going to need to access today and bring forward the best intentions for my day and bring forward what I'm going to need to say or see. So to me, it's more about like just setting that intention of what you want from that stone, but also like what it's good for, just to amp that up.
Yeah, that makes sense. All about the intention, like with everything.
Yep.
That's good. And sometimes when I'm using my crystal during my Reiki practice, I'll put it in my hand. And it's almost like I'm squeezing it in there and then I'm even blowing my air into it before I use it. And that's something that started on its own. And then I saw somebody else post about it on their Instagram page. And I thought, oh, maybe I should be like more intentional when I'm doing that, since that's what it kind of seems like I'm doing that. I'm charging it almost up for them. And then before I'm using it on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting it ready.
And do what feels good, right? If that's what feels right to you, then continue doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, I will. I will.
No, I really love that because, when I first started getting into crystals, it was just like, it felt like it was so black and white. You can't do this, but you can't do that. And then you can't have these crystals together. You can't do this and that. And it was like almost overwhelming. So I really like your take on it. Like, do what feels right to you. Just like, as we said with Reiki, like, do what's right for you. Like, what I do isn't what Amanda does. And we find our own groove as we get to know different stones and what they do. And I don't know. I really like that.
And something that I've learned over the last few years too, So keeping in mind, I've worked with stones for 20 plus years. So this isn't something that I've just learned in the last little bit. To me, it's a lot more about feeling things as opposed to thinking about it. Because when we get into that thinking, that's our ego trying to tell us what to do. Or potentially other people's ego being like, this is how these rules have to work. And it doesn't matter. It's all about what feels good to you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So how do you know when you need to start clearing or charging your crystals, or like, how do I know when enough is enough? Mm-hmm. So obviously different crystals are going to have different weights to them. So again, think of this energetically, everyone. Energetically, if your stone starts to feel really heavy, it's picked up a lot of energy, and that's when you're going to need to clear it out. Cleanse and clear, right? To me, that's the same kind of idea as the cleansing and clearing. So the charging is when we want to start to put that better intention back into that stone again. Same with the activating. I'll wrap that in there as well of, okay, well, this is a tourmaline, so I want this to be a protective stone, and I'm activating it to help protect. If people want to take it a step further, you absolutely could Reiki your stones too, and again, put that intention into it of what it is that you really want out of it. But yeah, when your stones start to feel energetically heavy, that's when you're going to want to start to clear it.
Yep.
How long for? However long it feels good. When do you do that? Whenever it feels heavy. How often? Whatever feels good. Like, I don't have a set time where I'm like, oh, okay, I've been carrying this for a week, I better clear it now.
Yeah.
It's whatever feels right.
Yeah.
Right. But when using them on a client after a session, you would clear them after every go, right?
100%. Yeah. For sessions, I clear all my stones after every single session. And a lot of times too, if it's been a couple days in between sessions, I will clear it, or I'll cleanse it even before people come in. And that's just my own personal practice, that I cleanse it again before. So then it's almost like they get double cleansed, if you will.
Yeah.
Again, that's my own practice. It doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean it's wrong. It just is what it is.
No,
it's like clearing. Yeah, it's like clearing my Reiki room too. I clear it when they leave, and then before they come in, I'm clearing it again. I just like things fresh and clean.
Yep. Same idea.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. I like it.
Yeah, you know, that made me think of, was it or did you have a crystal break in half? Was that you, Amanda?
Yeah. 3 pieces.
Yeah. Have you ever had that happen, Megan?
Oh, yeah, lots.
Okay.
I was like, well, I guess this one used up. I was working on a client, actually. I wonder if she listens to this.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. So funny. She was like, what did I do? I just thought, well, it's done.
So, usually what happens when that's the situation is that it's literally absorbed all that it possibly can. It'd be interesting to know what kind of stone it was.
It was like a clear quartz. It was the same one I have in my window. I should show you it.
That's really bizarre. Like, to me, that seems a little, not that it's unbelievable, but like, that's crazy that a clear quartz would be the one that would break.
I know. I even took a photo of it.
Weird.
I don't know if it is clear quartz, because it almost looks like it has like those spiny things like a raw selenite does, like, you know, those long shards. But
it was like this.
That is a gorgeous piece, by the way.
Yeah.
I know.
So
I got a bunch.
This could be a real selenite. So
okay.
I will explain a lot of the selenite that you will get in the stores, and that's what I have as well. We have it labeled wrong. It's technically satin spar. Some people call it a different name as well. But it's like the white, cloudy selenite. The stuff that, if that's what it is,
this is
like real. Yeah. So the tower would be more that satin spar, where the other one that's in your hand is potentially what a real selenite would be.
Oh.
So it's almost like glass-like looking.
Yeah,
So
totally.
you can see through it a little bit. I have
I
only
can.
one piece that's from Saskatchewan, and mine's actually in a heart shape. It's super pretty. It's in my treatment room. But yeah, so if that is a selenite, then if that's what that is, I would have to actually like look at it and feel it in person, just because it's kind of hard over video.
Yeah.
But yeah, it almost looks to me, it almost feels more like, looks and feels more like an actual selenite would be. And so again, if that's the case, then it's absorbed something from your client, and it just needs to kind of break away and clear off that thing, whatever that was.
That's intense. Like, that's some intense energy to like snap something. Wow.
Yeah. So we actually, a lot of times what will happen, so obviously I bring selenite when I do go to shows and that, but what happens sometimes is those little round clearing plates, or we again call them charging plates, but the little plates, I've had a few of those break as well because of whatever energy that they've picked up from the stones that people have been touching at the shows. It just needs to clear that energy, and so they break.
Huh. Yeah, that makes sense, because there's a lot of people going through those shows, touching everything, and
And again, I do allow people to touch it because sometimes you have to feel if it's the right one for you. So touch away. I do constantly ask my team to help come and clear energy out of the space. And sometimes partway through the day too, I will spray like a smudge spray, just again to help clear energy if I can. But it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I will say there is a difference too, though, with, oh my God, I dropped my stone on the ground and it broke, versus I was doing an energy healing session and a piece broke off. So if you accidentally drop a stone on the ground and it breaks, that is literally just an accident. Like, it wasn't so much that it did absorb so much energy it broke, but something in the case like what you explained, Amanda, it's absorbed so much that it just needed to break off.
I was using it like a wand, like literally in my hand, holding it like wanding it. And I was like, what? Like, oh my. Yeah, I know it didn't hit anything. It was the funniest thing. But then I ended up burying it in the ground, like it's in my garden. Okay, I was like, was that the right protocol? Okay, good.
Again, yes, no. To me, I'm like, do whatever feels good. If it feels good to put in your garden, great. Do you have to leave it there forever? Probably not, but if you want to, you can. A lot of my, I don't want to call them garbage stones because they're not garbage, but the ones that are not as good a quality, if I don't like the quality of them, I actually throw them in my garden, and my plants grow like crazy because they love that energy.
That is cool.
That is cool. I wonder if I should take that out now and do so. What else would I do with it? Just keep it? Or is it kind of maxed out? Oh, okay.
Just leave it there.
All right.
All the plants that are in that particular garden will get that energy from that stone.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Megan, so I had a client come in. Actually, her name was Megan too. She's a friend of mine, so I'm sure it's fine that I just dropped her first name. Anyways, so she, like what Christy was saying about the stress of the crystals and like all the things. So she has like, again, like a mitt of them, and she always brings them all. And but she was like, oh, I'm really stressed out because I shouldn't have some in my room at night when I'm sleeping. Like, do some have a really high energy and it's not really great to have them all in your bedroom? I know a lot of people like to put them all into their pillow, or, is there some that should kind of stay out of the bedroom at night?
I would agree with that. I mean, again, I'm not much of a rules person as far as that goes. However, there are going to be certain energies that, if you do not want to be taken on some kind of a journey or have crazy wild dreams, probably don't have it in your room.
Oh, like what?
So, okay, so this prophecy stone I was telling you guys about earlier. So this will take you on crazy journeys when you are in a meditative state. So for me, I like to meditate before I go to bed. So I actually do sleep with this one because my dreams are just wild and I love it. Another one that I recommend often is called Pre-Night. So I don't know if I have it with me actually. No, I don't. So it's more like a kind of like a pale green-ish color. And that one is really good for lucid dreaming. So again, if you don't want that, don't put that in your room. But if you do struggle with sleep, my recommendation for that is Howlite all the time. It's really great for insomnia. So again, I would recommend raw piece of that as opposed to like a tumbled piece, but they'll both do the same thing, but just the raw will have a little bit stronger energy.
Yeah, and it's funny, like I have crystals placed around my house like in different ways, and it's like, oh, this looks like a pretty place for some green crystals, and I just put them there. And yeah, it's just following your intuition and what feels right. And sometimes when it looks pretty, it has a purpose too, like like it looks nice over here, but it's doing something over there. Like I bought those 3 really nice Labradorite pieces, like they're really big and they're just beautiful. Like they look like the Northern Lights. And I have one in the corner of my kitchen and I don't know why, but it's just like it sits there. I don't know. But
so to me, lab is really good for, I always feel like it's really good for intuition based. That's what I use it for the most. I carry that around with me as well. And I have lots of jewelry of that too. Just because I really like the flashy in it. Yeah. But yeah, intuition. But so it'd also be really good, like, again, bringing that energy in your kitchen as you're cooking, right? So whether that's like intuitively selecting maybe the spices that are going to go in there tonight, or am I going to up the vibration of my food tonight? And this is a really good way is also with the stones, as opposed to just me having to do the Reiki on it.
Okay. Yeah. I never even thought of that with the food. That makes total sense. It's funny. It just lives there. And then I'm like, Troy, go stand a little closer to that. Just get a little energy there. But what's funny about Labradorite? That I love the flashiness of it, but I can't wear it as jewelry. Like I had a beautiful triangle piece, like an upside down triangle, and it hung over my heart. And my heart just races whenever I wear that. And it took me a long time to figure out what the hell was going on.
Okay. What's giving me anxiety?
Yes. It's like, it's this necklace.
And I do find like certain stones, certain people just can't do it. And if it doesn't feel right for you, then stop doing it, right? Like obviously you figured it out what it was. I also have a client who cannot do anything amethyst. Can't do it.
Oh,
bothers her. Doesn't like to be in the same room as it. A lot of times I'm like, well, I still have it here. And she's like, no, it's fine. But if she's to hold on to it, bothers her, gives her a tummy ache.
Really?
No.
And so some people will argue and say, well, that's the stone that you need then. And I'm like, well, but if it gives you a tummy ache, like maybe don't do it. Just find a different stone that's going to be similar.
Just a little.
Give you that.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could like work your way up to that. Getting used to the
Honestly,
energy.
I think you certainly could. And frankly, too, I think it's a lot of, do we say like quality too? And depends where it's come from.
Let's talk about quality and where crystals come from. Can we do that? Like me and Christy, yes. I know this might be like a little bit of the darker side of the crystal community, but like, getting your crystals from a store that's reputable, who, cares where they come from, as opposed to like wish.com or I don't know about Temu. Like, I don't know. I've never ordered from there. I have no idea. I'm not bashing them if that's where you get your stuff. I just like, is there a difference?
There is a massive, massive difference. Huge difference. Please, please, please do not buy stuff on a site like that, because a lot of times it's either completely fake, silicone. It's potentially from an overmined area. Maybe they've added extra dyes to be able to make it that certain color. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, and I knew we would talk about this later on. So a lot of times with carvings, I'm just trying to see if I can find, so even though I am my own crystal person, I do also get stones from elsewhere. So I'm going to talk about this. So I have this cute little carving. It's so adorable. I don't know if you can quite see details on it, but you can tell that it doesn't look like a real stone, correct? Like just looking at it, you can't, like if I said, okay, can you identify what this stone is? I don't know.
Yeah.
Not sure.
I don't know.
So a lot of times stuff like this, where they're like a really specific shape, and very, very symmetrical, this is going to be what we call a reconstituted stone. So when they have like a beautiful piece of mineral, and they've carved off whatever it is to make a sphere, for example, they'll have this extra material. So what do you do with all that garbage or waste? Well, you mix it and you make it into a reconstituted stone. So a lot of times when you're buying these things that are fairies, not all of them, because I have a lot of carvings in my store as well, but all of them are hand carved. I have one carver, he's in Indonesia. It takes a really long time to do stuff, but that's because he's doing it by hand.
Wow.
So on these little ones, you can tell that they are laser engraved a certain way. You can tell that it's kind of mass produced. And a lot of times you cannot feel energy in these stones because, again, I'm not saying that they're not real, but they're not as good a quality as what other stones are going to be. So again, they'll call that a reconstituted stone. Any of those little like Pikachu things that you find, or like these little tiny fairies. And also too, we don't have to get super into the price, but a lot of times too, they will sell them for super, super cheap because they're not a real stone. Real stuff is expensive because you have to get the good quality. Again, I don't have a super great, I wish I had my citrines with me to show you the difference there. But a lot of times we want to look for like deep hues of stuff. So this is a lapis and it's super, super rich blue. It's kind of hard to see in this light, but you want to look for the deep colors of certain stones. And a lot of times, for me anyways, I can tell if stuff is real or not just by looking at it. Moldavite's been another trigger one that a lot of people have wanted lately. And if you are not getting it from the proper sources, people will sell you fake stuff. Yep. Because it's highly sought after. There's not a whole lot of it left. It did come from a meteorite, so there was very little to begin with. But anyways, that's a whole different rabbit hole. But yeah, there is definitely a difference between the good stuff and the fake stuff. When you are shopping from somebody, be it online on an Etsy or even somebody's website or Instagram, Facebook, ask them if they know where the sources are. Where did this stone come from? If you can't tell me where this is found in the world or where you sourced it from, it's probably either not necessarily a good level stone or that person isn't reputable seller either. Now, not that I know every single location where all of my stones have come from, but I have good suppliers all over the world. So different stones you literally just can't find in Canada.
Yep. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was looking for, it's called Dalmatian something. Was that the stone?
Dalmatian jasper.
Yes, yeah. That one. And I visited that one lady on Broadway a couple years ago, and she was just like, yeah, I like that stone, but a lot of it's fake, and that's why I don't carry it. And I was like, I appreciate that she was honest and was like, she could easily, you know, have a little bowl of like fake ones and sell those to people, but her integrity and intention behind it is which I appreciate with you too. You're not going to sell things that are phony or fake, and, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I can just send you guys a photo later for reference. But citrine is a really big one. So a lot of times if you have the very yellow and white citrine, or it's very, very orange, like a weird color orange, that's a heat treated amethyst. That is not real citrine. Where the citrine that I get is actually from Brazil. It is real. It almost looks like smoky quartz because it is in the quartz family. So potentially how it's formed is that it may have some smoky quartz in it. So energetically, again, if you guys happen to come to my store, I can show you, but energetically, you can tell a huge difference between heat treated amethyst, what most people sell, versus high quality, real authentic citrine from Brazil.
From Brazil. Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Huh.
No.
Mm-hmm. So the Dalmatian jasper is another one that came to my mind. Of a lot of times people will sell you, again, that's that reconstituted stone. They're just kind of pulling whatever jasper's left over, potentially shooting it with some dye, and then this is what it looks like. Not all, but if you're looking at stones, okay, so I don't have any of this with me today. I should have brought a bigger collection with me to show you, but that's okay. So if they're telling you that there's, if it's a super bright color, like a neon pink or blues, like super, super bright blues, greens, anything like that is usually like a clear quartz that's been dyed. And lots of times, like if they have that super shiny aura coating over top, again, that's another process that they do to it. Not saying those stones are fake, but they have been altered, and they're not necessarily going to give you the highest vibe of what clear quartz really can do.
Okay.
All good stuff to keep in mind, especially when you're picking out new ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And if you want to incorporate them in your Reiki practice, you want them to be potent.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, just if you come to somebody's store, and I'm not just saying myself, but even if you go to the other stores in town, specifically, there's a couple that I have dealt with in the past myself. They are extremely knowledgeable. If you ask us any questions, we are so happy to help you and give you information on how those stones are going to help you, or what they're good for, or even just sometimes looking at people, it's like, oh, I can tell that you need blah, blah, blah stone. It's going to help you through whatever you're working through. So please, people of Saskatoon, just ask us questions. We really want to help you.
Yeah,
That's
I
awesome.
love that. You know, I always loved going to the crystal store and not having a crystal in mind and just being like, where am I drawn to? And then I pick one up and then I read about it and then sit with it. And it's like, oh shit, yep, that's what I needed today. And it's like, okay, you're coming home with me.
Yep.
Yeah, I just love that magic of it. Can we just touch quickly on the Moldavite thing? I just wanted to ask, like, I know that's a whole rabbit hole, but I remember like maybe maybe like a year ago, it was like blew up. Everyone's like, this is going to like change your life. It's going to throw everything out of balance. And then people were going crazy for it. What is that all about?
And we had a lot of people came to us too looking for it. So here's the deal. Moldavite, any stone, not just Moldavite. We shouldn't just single that stone out. Any stone will do what it's required to do if you are ready and need that to come into your life. So the big thing with Moldavite was, to me, it was very much a buzzword that was all over social media. Everyone was talking about it. You had to have this stone. And then it jacked prices up because it was in such a big demand. So yes, Moldavite is supposed to be this transformational stone, brings things in and out of your lives. It potentially could feel like things are flip-flopping and moving a lot for you, if you want it to. Mm-hmm. So for me, I don't choose, like I have some Moldavite jewelry and stuff. When I wear it though, I feel very airy, lightheaded, not necessarily lightheaded in the sense that I'm going to fall over, but like it takes me out of this world and I cannot focus when I have it on. So for me, it's really hard. And a lot of times too, I recommend if you are going to wear Moldavite, please have hematite with you because that'll help ground you and bring you back to earth a little bit. Because again, Moldavite is very cosmic, we'll say. Mm-hmm. To me, it's very, very light. I don't know how else to word, like otherworldly. Yeah, so a lot of times people will just feel very like on cloud nine. If you want that transformation, something that's far more affordable and I would say easier to work with is actually malachite. So it's also a stone of transformation, considerably cheaper than what Moldavite is. And if you are ready and you want to do that, malachite will do the same thing. It will help you with that transformation of life.
Oh, cool. Is that that pretty emerald green one?
Yes. And usually, so that's another one. That's a lot of people will fake because it is an expensive material. So fun fact, you actually can find it up in Creighton Flin Flon area if you are native to Saskatchewan. So you can get it up there. I've gone up a few times. I haven't looked for it, but it is found here as well. A lot of the stuff that I source for that is India is where I usually get that from for myself. But yeah, so that's another one that can be sold as a fake.
It's a fake. Okay, that's good to know.
Don't look for, so for malachite, don't look for like too uniform of lines in it because again, everything that grows in nature like that will be a little bit different.
Yeah, like those nice wavy lines like the sand makes when the water washes over it. Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Have I been living under a rock? How come I never heard about this Moldavite?
No.
Like going. No. You talk about it, I'm like, what?
How much time do we have? And can I talk to you about perception?
Some research. And it's funny because I have these crystal cards, so it comes up, so I'm familiar with it. But I'm like, I didn't realize it was this huge craze, jacking up prices, and people were like, "What?"
Yeah,
so funny.
Yeah, it was a big. So I have a different one. Okay, so here's a little bit more education on it. So, what the stuff that I have in my store is called tektite. So, Moldavite comes from 2 different places in the world. The stuff that I have is from Indonesia, so it's black. The green stuff is found in Russia. So tektite I'm going to call is like the overarching umbrella, and Moldavite is a tektite. So they still have the same properties, but the black tektites are cheaper than what the Moldavite is. I think a lot of times people want it again because there's been this huge hype up on social media of Moldavite and oh my God, it's this amazing thing. But again, malachite will do the same thing and tektites will do the same thing if you're ready and you choose that.
And that's good to know to have other options, especially since it's kind of hard to find. And you want to make sure you're getting legit stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And again, energetically, you can feel the difference. I actually had somebody come up to me and she had a pretty big piece of what she called Moldavite on her neck. And I was like,
oh boy,
man, if I wore that, like I would be an absolute space cadet. I would not be able to have a normal conversation with you. And when I was even just in her space, I'm like, it doesn't feel real to me. Like it literally looks like like you touch it and it doesn't even feel like what Moldavite should feel like or what that Tektite should feel like. So be wary and cautious of that.
Yeah. Yeah, especially a big chunk. Yeah. And if she could wear it over her heart, yeah, it's like, yeah, how real is that? Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. It's so funny how social media can just take things and just go with it, like just wild. It's like, Moldavite ruined my life. Just like all these different stories.
But it's the energy behind it. Like, if you want it to ruin your life, it's probably going to ruin your life.
Yeah,
if you want it to change your life and make it be the best thing ever, it's probably going to do that. It's what you're going to put behind it.
That's so true. And I love how you said, like, if you're ready for it, you know, like inviting that crystal in. And if you're ready for that change, then it will help you. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's definitely about the readiness behind them. And again, I'll quickly touch on the perception. So again, if it's not something that I need, I'm not going to see it. But if it's something that I need, I'm going to see it and notice it. So Amanda, if it's something that has never really come into your reality, it's because you don't necessarily need it. Is that a good thing? No. Is it a bad thing? No. It just is. There's something else out there that will suit you better.
Yeah, that's a great point. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay. Well, was there anything else that you wanted to touch on, Megan, that we didn't cover at all?
I don't think so.
Okay.
This was super fun.
Yeah.
I know. Yes. I learned a lot.
I did too. I feel like I could talk to you for like another.
To learn.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Christy said you wouldn't mind doing a card pull for our listeners today.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'm actually going to use a deck because a lot of stuff lately has been Canada driven. So I'm actually going to use a deck that I got from a lady that I know in Winnipeg. She is Canadian and she's been working on this deck for like 9 years.
Wow.
So as of right now, I'm the only person in Saskatoon that actually sells this deck. So it's beautiful. It's called Take Back Your Power. And it's an incredible, incredible deck. I've had lots of really good messages out of here. It's super simple. Yeah. And she's Canadian, which I love, you guys.
Yes, I love
Wherever
that too.
I can, I try to support local or Canadian people.
Yeah. So. Of course, yes.
Okay. So card is freedom. This is super cool. So to me, what they're talking about is freedom to make that choice. So if something feels good or light to you, then continue to follow that. We don't need to follow those certain rules. We can just choose whatever it is that feels the best to us. We don't necessarily have to follow what other people have put in place for us. Just continue to choose that freedom side. So I also want to talk about this with, well, I don't know how much time we have, but I'll rattle this off really quickly. So freedom of choice, but also they want to talk about choosing things that are passionate for you. So continue to follow things that bring you and give you the most joy and excitement. Continue down that path. Don't get hung up on or stuck on, well, but that's not going to work, because you have to get it out of your head. Don't worry about what your little ego mind is telling you. Just continue to follow the things that bring you the most joy and excitement, and that will help lead to a little bit more freedom in life.
Joy and excitement. Yeah.
Great message.
Yeah.
And
thank
beautiful
you for
artwork.
That. Yeah.
Yeah. Canadian artist. So the lady that wrote the cards didn't do the artwork, but she had a Canadian artist do it for her. And yeah, they're absolutely gorgeous.
They are pretty.
And they're all kind of in these beautiful colors.
Yeah. And like some dark and Oh, I love that.
You'll have to take a picture so we can post it for everyone else to see on our Instagram.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
you
love
always
that
have
message.
freedom.
Yes, that's so true. Just to remind everybody about that. And that just like ties into everything we talked about, like the freedom to choose whatever crystal you're called to, and freedom to, if you want to charge it outside, inside, whatever you want to do. And just, yeah, I just feel like that was the message today. And that was just nice. That just tied it up in a nice little bow.
Yeah. There are no rules. Remember that. There are no rules. Do what feels good.
I love that. There are no rules.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah. So where can people find you?
So I'm on Instagram, Facebook. I'm trying to get on TikTok, but just be patient with me, people, please. I'm not very good at it. We have a lot of stuff happening in life, and content creation is really hard. I don't know why I make it so hard, but anyhow, so yeah, Instagram, Facebook for sure. A little bit on TikTok, Mountain Ore Crystals.
Perfect.
That's all you need to look for. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. We'll link that all below. On the website.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Yes.
Yeah. And then, like you guys talked about, I do have a store here in Saskatoon as well on 51st and Faithful.
Yeah. Amanda and I, we're heading there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Are people able to order online from you if they wanted?
Yeah. So my pictures aren't super great if I'm trying to get stuff in a hurry, because we got a lot of new stuff before some shows this year. So I'm currently waiting on an order coming from Brazil. It's hung up right now. But I did get a whole bunch of stuff in from India a couple months ago. So some of my photos aren't super duper, but I am always available for video chats if people want to look that way as well. Yeah. And you don't even need to know what it is that you want. I can even just kind of read energy for you and then give you direction on what feels like is coming up for you.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. Oh, great.
A little bit more personalized that way.
Yeah. Yeah, it totally would be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing. Okay. Well, thank you, Megan, so much again.
Thank you, both Christy and Amanda, for having me on here. This was a ton of fun. I love being able to share knowledge.
Yeah, and you can tell it's your passion because it just like flows through you, just comes so natural. And yeah, thanks so much for sharing your knowledge today. I know everyone's going to have a great takeaway from this episode.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And always reach out if anyone has any questions at all. Seriously, just message me. Lots of times if you go snoop my website, you'll be able to find my cell number. So just call me.
Oh, perfect. That's awesome.
Yeah, and you can follow Megan on all the pages, and you can follow Christy and I on Instagram. We are at Live in the Reiki Life.
Yep, and we also have our personal pages. Mine is called The Birch Soul.
And I am Reiki with Manda. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, I'll see you guys later.
1, 2,